My boyfriend wants me to sleep with my boss. Hey Reddit, I hope you're all doing well today. I've got a unique situation on my hands, and I thought I'd share it here to get some advice and perspectives. Let me give you some context. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I've been dating my boyfriend, Mark, for nearly 3 years. We've had our ups and downs, but we've always managed to work things out. We live together, share a life, and have been talking about our future together. Mark is supportive and loving, or so I thought. Recently, he dropped a bombshell on me. He asked me to cheat on him with my boss, Alan, at my workplace. Alan is 38, divorced, and well off. He's also known for being charismatic and charming. I've had a professional relationship with Alan for 2 years now, and he's never crossed any boundaries. Mark's request came out of nowhere. He claims it's a fantasy of his and that it would turn him on to know that I'd been with someone else, especially my boss. He's even willing to let me go through with it and said he wouldn't consider it cheating. I'm in shock and don't know how to handle this situation. So, Reddit, AMA. I need your advice, your thoughts, and maybe some similar experiences to help me make sense of this. If you're interested in cucking him, I would strongly suggest you guys role-play without a third a few times, then if you're both open to going further, you find a neutral third-party guy to role-play it with you. He can act as your new boss or even find a guy that looks like your actual boss. You really shouldn't fuck your actual employer. The liabilities and risk for so much drama afterwards is too probable. If you want and are into it, you can do the cuck thing. However, don't get involved with your supervisor. Sounds like an HR disaster and could mess up your job. He may have this fantasy, but you never know how he'll react when you actually sleep with someone else, let alone someone you work with on a daily basis. If you want to try this, find someone else. Don't do this. You're going to ruin your career. Tell him you already did the boss 2 weeks ago, see if he thinks it's cool. If your man is into being cucked and you can find a way to respect him afterward, then the choice is yours. Your boss is the worst person on the planet you could sleep with. That's a hard no. I'd tell him that's never happening, it's non-negotiable. He should keep this as a fantasy. Boyfriend aside, I can't recommend sleeping with a coworker. A boss is a bigger no. Well, it's a good way to ruin your job. Fuck his dad. But definitely don't fuck your boss. Explore the kink in other ways. Start small. Hey, can you risk getting you and or your boss fired for my own sexual pleasure? Triangular flag on post? Haha, that is definitely a weird situation to be in. Ask yourself, is this something you want to do? It seems to me like your boyfriend is into the whole cuck thing. Is it something that you would be into? I know I would never want my partner to be with anyone else, much less be turned on by it. But everyone is different. Tell him you aren't going to put your career at risk to fulfill his fantasy. Don't sleep with your boss. As everyone has said, it'd be a bad idea to try anything with your boss who has shown no interest in a sexual relationship. If you want to go down this road, and my sense is you don't start off slow, go out and flirt with other guys, don't do any more with him around and see how he feels. It's a common fantasy, but the reality is usually disastrous in the end. You and he need to have a serious discussion about both of your expectations and boundaries. Both your minds are free. Speak honestly, and avoid negative feedback to encourage his honesty. He will give you a better idea how to take it than I. Do not ruin your job in order to fulfill a fetishized of your boyfriend. It's ludicrous. Regardless what happens, OP, you got to update us in 3 months. Still dating? Did you do it? Are you guys happy? Etc. etc. But update us. Sounds like your boyfriend is cuck. I don't think sleeping with your boss is a good idea, but maybe talk with him about sleeping with other men instead. That way he still gets his kinks satisfied and you don't mess with your work. It might be weird at first, but you never know, you might like having a half-open relationship for yourself. TBH, I would make sure that is exactly what he wants. If yes, lie and go out with your girlfriends instead and have a blast. Fuck work-related stuff, it always leads to trouble in the workplace. That is not what you need. I would most certainly decline, but you do you. I highly suggest to get out of this relationship if you are not planning on living this lifestyle, because this a lifestyle where he is going to want you to be with random men. X200B. Think further down the line, what if your family and friends and future children find out that you do this stuff? Ask yourself if you are okay with this. X200B. Not knocking the lifestyle if that's for you, but make sure you are into it before you commit in marriage. This is the wildest title I've seen this year. If you don't share the same fantasy, I would highly recommend not engaging in it. It's also a terrible idea to sleep with someone you work with. Is this real? Girl, bye. Sounds like S already cheated or is cheating and thinks by allowing you to do this, he is absolving his own dirty guilt. If what I say is true, he will bank it and use it against you when his infidelity emerges on. He throws it back at you with, well, you slept with your boss FFS, and you won't be able to deny it or defend your moral high ground. My advice is think very carefully, and was me, I wouldn't compromise myself to please even the person I thought I loved. Take care, smiley face. Lol, porn is wrecking some dudes. I am in no position to give relationship advice, but do not fuck your boss. The HR fallout will fuck you harder than your boss ever could. No, and the fourth time no, never have sex with anyone at your workplace. It'll end badly because Mark will accuse you of cheating and use that as ammo in a later argument. And Alan, even though he's well off, do not sleep with him. You'd be risking your love life and job. It's not worth it. I've known plenty of people who've slept with their bosses and it never ends well. A couple in my hometown did this. Even though it was the husband's idea, he became crazy with jealousy and murdered his wife and children in a fit of rage. How is he your boyfriend? That is so disgusting, because now is horny at the thought. But what about your feelings? This kink of his will be over after some time, and then both of you will start to argue about this. That is so fucked up. There is always the possibility that your partner wants to break up with you and will use this as an excuse, or wants the excuse at some point to do this himself. Don't do it. You will likely jeopardize your job and possibly your career. You could also be endangering your boss's career. Workplace romances are unwise as it is, but when there's a boss-employee romance, shit can get out of hand quickly. It's not worth the risk. First things first, stop dating this asswipe. I love how all the retards are warning about work boundaries but all in on disregarding relationship boundaries. Your boyfriend has a porn addiction and this is going to turn out very poorly. Or how about just don't do it? You'll regret it. Dump your loser, BF. You are better than that. Let's take Mark's desires out of the equation completely and focus on you. It doesn't sound like you want to sleep with your boss, and it doesn't sound like you like that Mark is asking you to. Really take some time to hone in on how you feel, how his request makes you feel, and what you're looking for from your relationship. It is perfectly fine for Mark to like this idea, and it's perfectly fine for you to say no. If you want to do this, go for it, but only if you want to. Please don't fuck your boss. If it goes against your morals, don't do it. Also, you need to keep this post as proof just in case he makes you seem like a cheater. His kinks shouldn't involve your boss. If he wants to cuckold and you agree, you pick the person. Write down the agreement on paper and make him sign it, so if he pulls the "you cheated" card you have proof it was his idea, as he's it cuckolding. Slippery slope. Do you respect your boyfriend having known this now? If you slept with your boss, would you be able to accept your boyfriend still? I wouldn't be in for that. It's too much.